I should be live. Okay, I should be live. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Let's wait for the people to start giving me comments. Is there anyone there? Is anyone watching me? Hopefully. I must apologise to everyone watching me on YouTube actually, because this is obviously billed as like a main site channel, like not what's the word, like a main kind of like video, and not a live stream. But of course, it is in the form of a live stream. Hello, Rob. Hello, Owen. How are you? Hello, John. Hi, David. How are you? Oh, Rob's got his rainbow out. Of course, the rainbow, random rainbows. That's what they're called. I am live, Owen. Thank you very much. Hope you can all hear me. Hello, John again, and David. No, I thought I'd do a live stream about this. What's the latest? I haven't even tried to look at the bloody headlines. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Oh, President Macron. He's wearing his little mask. What a great big bag of soy he is. I'm just looking through the background about everything that's been happening. This is because I had a little bit of a sleep actually. Lemon juice won't protect you from the virus. Oh, right. Okay, so there's not a lot to add. Let me just have to go back to the main stand. Okay. Okay, guys and gals, how you doing? Okay, so the reason I'm doing this video, and as I said, you guys watching it on YouTube, you will be seeing this as a main site video. But of course, it is a live stream I've done on Facebook. I've explained in the last live stream how I can't do live streams on Facebook at the moment because of technical problems. Otherwise, I'd probably just have. I don't. Also, I didn't have time to go through the normal process of putting up a notice and letting you know there was going to be a live stream. So I just did it on Facebook, where it's a lot easier. Anyway, just to recap, I mean, on Sunday, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Boris Johnson, was admitted to St Thomas's Hospital. This is the big hospital in central London, because he's got the coronavirus, and he was getting symptoms that were worsening, so he's taken to hospital as a precaution. Anyway, of course, the coronavirus is something I've had. You get over it most of the time. I never really thought there'd be any. Oh, John's getting buffering. Oh dear, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to do about buffering. I don't know what to do about buffering because if you think buffering's bad, John, wait till you see me on YouTube. But he was at 7 p.m. yesterday. He was taken to the intensive therapy unit. Now, this is really pretty worrying, and I know that because I was a hospital porter for 23 years, and I know that means trouble. I mean, about half the people who go into ITU never come out alive. It's where the hospital has the sickest patients, where you have like the specialist care and things like that, including people who can't breathe for themselves. This includes a lot of coronavirus sufferers, some of the most serious coronavirus sufferers, people who can't breathe for themselves, and they are put onto machines which help them to breathe, various kinds. But a lot of them don't ever come out of that situation. A lot of that's usually curtains for a lot of them. So I thought, what the hell's going on? I thought, my God. And I mean, I must admit, and this is probably a lot of you will scoff at this, but I was upset. I was worried about Boris. And I mean, I know not everyone agrees with me, but Boris is not in the Illuminati. Boris Johnson is a good guy. He's on our side. He is somebody who has found himself in the position he is, not because of the conspiracy, but because something's gone wrong with the conspiracy. That someone like him has been allowed to become prime minister, or has managed to become prime minister. This goes up to so he's like Trump. I mean, he's the British Trump, and I think I was really upset. I've never felt this before, but I mean, is when he did his speech at the police college, where he said he'd rather be dead in a ditch. I suddenly realised that this was the first time ever we got a prime minister I can feel respect for, I can feel admiration for. And so when I found out he was sick, I was really worried, and I really feel he's somebody I value enormously as a person and as a leader, and I really don't want to be without him. I don't think any of us are any good without him. I think it'd be very sad if he dies. Very sad indeed. And of course, there's a lot of people who want him out the way. And I thought someone actually posted it on Facebook yesterday. They said, "Oh, do you think they think they're going to kill Boris tonight?" And this is after what else happened as well, because this happened literally just an hour after David Icke was on London Real. He did his second interview on London Real, and basically the whole live stream went down. It went completely down. Now, I must say I must pay tribute and say I've got a lot of admiration and respect also for Brian Rose, the presenter and producer of London Real, because he was determined to interview David Icke when a lot of people were telling him not to. You know, for all the usual reasons: he's stupid, he's evil, he's crazy, all that kind of stuff. And he refused, and he refused to back down. He interviewed David, and basically his entire website, everything came under attack. The video was taken down. Not only that, but his website was attacked, and everywhere else he was uploading it was removed. I mean, this doesn't seem. I mean, there's a news story that came out saying that YouTube basically admitted YouTube had published something saying they specifically took down that video, but to me it has the hallmarks of an intelligence hit. So it's not just a normal piece of nasty social media deplatforming. This is something organised by the GCHQ. But there's a lot of disinformation about this, a lot of kind of retconning of the whole thing. The BBC have just published an article, actually. It says, "Coronavirus, YouTube tightens rules after David Icke's 5G interview." YouTube has banned all conspiracy theory videos falsely linking the coronavirus symptoms to the 5G network. The Google-owned service will now delete videos violating the policy. Oh, oh dear. The move followed a live-streamed interview with the conspiracy theorist David Icke on Monday, in which he had linked technology to the pandemic. YouTube said the video would be wiped. Anyway, during the interview, Mr. Icke falsely claimed there's a link between 5G and the health crisis. Oh, right, falsely, see. When he asked for his reaction of the 5G mast being set on fire in England, he responded, "If 5G continues and reaches where they want to take human life as we know it forever, so people have to make a decision." Mr. Icke also falsely claimed that the coronavirus vaccine, which is developed, will include nanotechnology microchips that allow humans to be controlled. He added that Bill Gates, who was helping to fund COVID-19 vaccine research, should be jailed. His views went unchallenged for much of the 2.5-hour show. Well, it wasn't 2.5 hours, was it? Because the live stream went down. They uploaded a recording in the end. Oh, dear. Excuse me. YouTube says it's changed its rule. We have decided we have clear policies that prohibit videos promoting medically unsubstantiated methods to prevent the coronavirus, seeking medical treatment, and we remove videos violating these policies when flagged to us. Oh, so This really, I think, means that things they don't agree with, and they've already said anything that runs contrary to the scientific consensus. So basically, it's false claims because we say they're false claims, and that's the end of it. All right. So David Icke was taken down at that moment, and I thought there's probably some kind of connection here between that happening. Anyway, hello everyone who's joined me since then. Jason Merritt, hello. Paul Armstrong, Gemma Frost, hello all of you. Gemma actually requested a live stream last night. I thought, oh no, it's a bit much to do that live last night, but I'm doing one now. I hope that's all right. Hello, Brendan. Hello, Annie and Kathleen. Stephen, hello. And Paul. Hello, all of you guys. How are you? Anyway, I don't know much. This live stream might get bloody deleted just because I said that. Oh dear. Anyway, the latest news is good. Actually, I was being very worried last night. Being very worried about Boris and about what was going to happen to him. But since then, things have calmed down a bit. We know Dominic Raab is basically acting up at the moment. Excuse me. Because Boris doesn't have a deputy prime minister. He's never appointed one. But Dominic Raab is the foreign secretary. He's acting up at the moment in his place, and he's chairman of the cabinet. And so he's taking on a lot of the roles that the prime minister does while Boris is in hospital. And I just... When he first said this last night, because we didn't know exactly what was going on, we just heard he'd been taken into intensive care. It was just like, oh my God. I thought we can't lose him. It will be devastating to lose Boris. It really would. And I don't often seriously pray, but I really have prayed for Boris so he makes a speedy and complete recovery. It's odd that, I mean, it's because there's been other times this has happened. I mean, for example, Tony Blair was hospitalised in 2003. Apparently he had heart problems, and I don't even remember it. I don't remember it, and I think if I had remembered it, it would be something pretty inconsequential to me. I really couldn't give a damn what happens to him. But things are looking up. Boris has been in ITU now for quite a long time now. 7 p.m. last night, so that's like 18 hours, more than 18 hours. He's now been in intensive care, but he does not need a ventilator. Now, that's the good news. That's good. Because a lot of people who have coronavirus, what coronavirus does, for most people, it's pretty. It manifests as severe flu-like symptoms, which is what I had basically. You just lie down, you get over it. You keep drinking plenty, and you're okay. And you just get over it. You feel like crap for a while, but then you just get over it. A minority of cases develop a more serious form of the disease where it does affect the breathing, and this can result in pneumonia, which can kill very, very easily. It can kill. Although what they do is with these patients, I've watching a documentary about a coronavirus ward, and it just makes me quite glad actually I'm not involved in this. I'm still in touch with some of my brother and sister porters who are. There's several things they can do. Well, what they've done to Boris is he's just had a mask with oxygen on. So this is just like a plastic mask, which is like unpressurized. It's just you breathe in and out of this big plastic mask that goes over your face. It's got holes in so air can come in and out. And it just sprays oxygen into the area where you're breathing. So you're essentially breathing enriched air. And this is the only treatment so far Boris has had, standard oxygen treatment. Now, if they were really worried after 18 hours and he's been on that, then that's a good sign. He hasn't required mechanical ventilation. Now, that means things such as the CPAP, which is continuous positive airway pressure. This is where they put a different kind of mask. It's actually a pressurized mask. They put over your face like that, and it puts high pressure air into your airways where you breathe. So when you breathe in, the air that comes in is of a higher pressure. If you go like that, and it breathe, so it's a higher. So essentially, it's helping you breathe yourself by inflating your lungs out externally with the pressure. And the actual ultimate is the ventilator. The ventilator is where you are literally, there's a machine that breathes for you because you can't breathe at all. Now this is something which they actually stick a tube, a plastic tube, into your mouth or your nose, right into your airway, into your trachea, your windpipe, and then basically everything, there's a machine outside with a pump which inflates your lungs and deflates them again. To do that, you have to be sedated, which means you have to be unconscious. That's what they sometimes do to people. Hopefully, none of these things will be necessary. And so I just wondered, is this? Of course, if someone wanted to get rid of Boris, this would be the opposite. This would obviously be a good opportunity to do so. They could do away with him, and we probably wouldn't hear anything more. We wouldn't hear any more about it. But I just think that there must be people who want to get rid of him. They haven't, which means there's people protecting him. Hopefully, the people protecting him, maybe connected to QAnon, will continue to protect him. That's what I hope will happen. So the latest report was Boris Johnson is in a stable condition overnight. He's in good spirits. He's conscious. He's receiving standard oxygen treatment. He has not had a pneumonia diagnosis, which is good. And there's been Dr. John Bennett, who's an expert in this sort of treatment, has given a comment to the news and says that Boris Johnson is getting extra oxygen either through his nose or via a face mask. And nose is through nasal specs, where basically they have like a pipe that just goes into your nose. And it doesn't block your nose up, but it's just when you breathe in, you just get a bit of extra oxygen. He says for many people, having some oxygen helps tide them over until their lungs sort themselves out. You get sick quicker than you get better. And he suggests that the Boris will need to be under close observation for another 2 to 3 days. But I'm heartened, this is him quoting, I'm heartened he's on normal oxygen delivery. And let's hope that this is the peak of his illness. So it's looking up, guys, looking up. I mean, I don't think we need to be as worried as perhaps I was last night. But I was surprised. I know some of you will probably will scoff a little bit at me for this, especially those of you who believe Boris is just another insider. He's just a part of the Illuminati. You know, those of you who believe that, especially, I think will probably find what I say find a lot of cringeworthiness in what I say. But I was emotionally perturbed by when I heard that. I immediately went onto Twitter, and there was like a book of someone had set up like an ebook which if you sign a goodwill message to Boris and they send it to him. It's like a get well card, a big get well card. When I got on there, it was 140 pages, and I read through some of the messages and I was really moved, because Boris Johnson is somebody we owe a hell of a lot. He's a strong and he's a caring leader who believes wholeheartedly in the well-being of the nation. Is it fair to say this? Without him, there would have been no Brexit. The globalists would have just had their way. They just completely walked in and just taken over. And the anti-New World Order people would never have had anyone who they could put in. There would have never been a British Trump. We owe him a hell of a lot. And I was very moved by some of the messages in the book. So thanks everyone for joining me. All the people who are posting comments. Kathleen Williams, hi Kathleen. And Stephen Cheatley. Is David's thing on Vimeo? All right. Now, Glyn Soul has said here, has put this thing up saying, what's this? Oh, Bill Gates. Oh, bloody heck. Horrible little creep. Horrible excuse for a human being. He's like Jabba the Hutt. Stephen Day Freeson said, Campbell kept that very quiet. Oh, who's that? Stephen, which Campbell? Sorry. Prescott just stepped up as deputy to interim before it was over. Prescott. Not John Prescott. He's dead, isn't he? I found out that I saw it posted somewhere that the Queen's speech we saw the other day, which I stopped my live stream for, was recorded in March. How did she know that was going to happen? Donna Marie Wellham. Hello, Donna. Says, I have to catch up on this as I've been outside in the garden doing some work. Hey, Donna, well, I'm glad you've got a nice garden and you're making the most of it during the lockdown. Hello, Jane. Jane Pickford's there. Nikki Patterson says, hiya, Ben. I saw you at the Holmfirth conference. Oh, right, I was there. Yeah, I've been to every one of those. They're really good, Nikki. Jay Austin. Hi, Jay. How are you? Thanks for going live, mate. I hope you're well. I'm not bad, thanks, Jay. I am feeling a lot better now than I was last night. Although I'm still nervous. I got some of this whiskey. Yeah, here's the bottle. I got some of that. I don't often drink that. It's Irish malt. I needed something to calm my nerves. That's strong. Lisa, hello Lisa, how are you? How are you? Yo, Ben, according to Trump last night, China was first, then US, then Europe, and lastly it's here. I believe this is about all things crossed, the bringing down of the cabal. I hope so, yeah. I feel Boris may just be staying safe while perhaps London is being cleared of the virus. London is last. I've heard several people claim, there's been several claims made about Boris maybe not really being ill, and this has been for various reasons. Some people saying it's for nefarious reasons because he's a bad guy. Others that it's all part of the plan that Q talks about. I've not seen any evidence for that. I mean, someone was posting on Twitter the other day that it was just that they say, I know someone who's a journalist, and they say Boris is dead, and they're just preparing a press conference to announce it. But that was yesterday evening at 8 o'clock, and since then nothing's happened so much. And the latest report is he's actually not doing too badly. Maciej, pride and dignity, Brother Porter. Maciej Kuczynski. Greetings from the JR, Brother Porter. And now this guy's, it's not his real name, obviously, but he is a porter at the John Radcliffe. So I hope you're coping all right, guys. Hope you're coping all right. I would love to be there helping you out, but, that's not possible now. But Lisa says the next few days are vital. Yeah. Chris Bird. Hello, Chris. Hi, Jane. Paul says, it's vital we get as much urine down us as possible, plus staring at the sun without glasses is supposed to be beneficial too. You've been watching too much CMR. You've been listening to CMR, haven't you? Do you remember? Well, no one on CMR suggested staring at the sun. No. There is a spiritual practice that involves staring at the sun, but people don't end up usually very well off because it damages your eyes permanently because it's so bright. As for the urine drinking, well, I never really endorsed that. I never really got into that one. I remember Kate of Gaia and all the others on CMR going on about urine drinking. No, I never did it. Paul says, give it over, Ben. Bojo's no saint. He's not a saint, but I mean, the thing is, he's not Illuminati. That's the point. Paul says, you're going on like he's a mixture of Gandhi and Princess Di and Mother Teresa combined. No, he's not. No, come on. Stop polarizing me. I'm just saying he's not Illuminati. He's not like Theresa May. He worked against the cabal's plans and their machinations for a one world government. Stephen says, John Prescott stepped up to replace Tony Blair when he was hospitalised with a heart scare. Campbell D noticed. All right. Because apparently, I didn't know that, Stephen. Thanks for clarifying that. But he did. Tony Blair had he had angina and he was taken to hospital because everyone thought he was having a heart attack. And unlike Boris, everyone just sort of shrugged and thought, "What the hell?" Some were even saying, "Oh, I hope the old bloated bugger croaks." But yeah, apparently Winston Churchill was actually hospitalised, and this was never. Where is it? Hang on, I did make a note of it. But Winston Churchill was taken in a hospital at one point when he was Prime Minister. And there we go. Yeah, he had a stroke, apparently. Winston Churchill had a stroke. This is very interesting. This was long ago. Hang on, here we go. This is from the BBC archives. In 1953, after attending a dinner in honour of the Italian Prime Minister, Alcide de Gasperi, Winston Churchill suffered a stroke. And, yeah, it's... Well, there's a whole load of... I don't know what this is all about. But apparently, this was kept quiet. And while he was in hospital, everyone just carried on as normal. And Anthony Eden, I think he was the Foreign Secretary too. He took over. He did the same role that Dominic Raab is doing now. Well, they didn't tell anyone; it was kept quiet. And Churchill, luckily, it was only a very minor stroke, and he managed to get over it quite quickly. Craig says David's latest video has been removed from Vimeo. Oh, it's gone from Vimeo now, has it? Oh dear. I bet you I'm gonna. Maybe I should just cut out all the bits where I say referring to the mobile phone system, because there's no valor in being a false martyr. Before I upload this to YouTube, or maybe I should just download this quickly in case it's Facebook delete it. Look, my own opinions on the mobile phone network are, I don't believe it's a cause of the coronavirus symptoms. But what I do think, I said this on the last one actually, I think there is a virus. The people who are getting sick from a virus, but the mobile phone system doesn't help matters because it is an electromagnetic weapon. It is an electromagnetic weapon which specifically affects the human nervous system and body and immune system. Barry Trowers talks a lot about that. Mark Steele, several other people. It's and so for that matter, for that reason, it does affect people. Your general health, which will affect how you respond to COVID-19 infection. Hey, Paul, yeah, it's not. I'll just add a couple of glasses. I'm not going to drink the whole bottle. Sorry, everyone. I don't know what happened there. For some reason, yeah. So I hope you guys got everything there. But Paul says Ben beating the COVID gives us hope. Nice one. How many other comments were on there? I hope I've missed all the comments that were on there. I don't know what happened there. I think it's something I might have pressed, actually. I might have pressed something. But anyway, Lisa says, I'll carry on with what works. Ian Gunner has said something about, put stuff. Heidi Neal, hello. Heidi said, I just PM'd you this, but this is way too important not to share. COVID-19 death certificates. Right, you are, Heidi. Thank you very much. And Paul said, and Lisa said, have a conversation. I'm just going back on the various people, what people have said. Juliet, hello, Juliet. How are you? And Craig Fracknell, hello. Chris Bird says, Johnny Walker Green Label do the trick. Lisa says, I don't think we can trust the BBC reporting. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh, yeah. So thanks very much for those comments, guys. Now, I don't know how many of you can see this one, but Jason's there. Hello, Jason. I'll just let everyone know that I've gone live. Okay, I've started. I'll just say I've started a new live stream. There we are. Oh, Larry Warren says, Ben, I noticed the silver cone of knowledge behind your right shoulder. That's right, Larry. You remember that was from Dreaming Sources. I wore it on my tour. Hello, Gareth. How are you? So I don't know how many of you are watching me now. I don't know. Something happened. Something went wrong with the live stream. What happened there? It ballsed up. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, what I'll do is I'll. Oh, it's not working. It's not going. I'm back online now. Anyway, first world problems, says Jason. Yeah, but where I got to, I mean, I think I didn't have much more to add except go through whatever questions people have. Just to say that I wasn't sure. I thought I'll do a live stream when I get back from work today, but I had a bit of trepidation. I didn't know what sort of state Boris would be in when he got back. I didn't know when I got back. I didn't know whether he'd have been put on a ventilator or anything like that. Now he's been since 7 p.m. He's just been having oxygen, which means hopefully he's getting better. That's what I hope will happen. Stephen says the Matrix has you. Oh dear. He has us all. Hello, Anne. Hi, Anne. How are you? And hello, all of you. Pollyanna. Hello, Pollyanna. How are you? Is everyone else? Just want to see if everyone else who was on the live stream the first time is on the live stream now. Because it'd be nice if you could join us. Whew. Excuse me. But Paul says, invest in fibre. This dial-up ain't doing it. I've got a very good connection speed, actually, Paul. What it is, it's I don't. It seems to be something to do with YouTube. It doesn't affect. I think what I do is I press the wrong button. I think that's why I pressed something which ended the live stream and I didn't mean to. Hi, Gemma. Hi, Keith. Hi, Craig. I pressed something. I didn't mean to, and that was what ended the live stream. I don't think it was anything sinister. And on YouTube, it's a different matter. YouTube are distinctly restricting certain things, like bitrate and stuff like that. Jason says, my sister has just been sent to Birmingham. She's a nurse in the army, pretty worried. All right, Jason, well, I hope she'll be all right. They may want her to take part in a to work on the ward, in which case she'll be offered full personal protective equipment, everything like that. So I hope she'll be all right. Owen says you need and he mentions the name of the mobile phone network connection. Oh, so sooner or later we'll. I mean, I don't worry about these things as much as I used to. It's like I don't worry about diet as much as I used to. I will drink things with aspartame in. There's just no point. It's just too much to worry about. And to avoid these things entirely is like almost impossible. You'd have to become a complete ascetic and live on an island off the coast of Ireland or something. I can't live like that. Elisa says it's just a laptop that buffers, so you're all right now. Oh, good. Good on you. That's great. If any of you have any questions or comments, go ahead, because Gareth has just. I'll just have a link Gareth just posted here. Yeah, this is the one that this is the one I was referring to earlier. YouTube tightens rules after David Icke's interview. Oh, what a load of. I'm not going to. They're saying that they just say something is false and therefore it is false. So that means, it's because it's a conspiracy theory and because we say it's false, that's all that's necessary. Hi, Philip. Well, you want to know what's happening? Well, hello, Gary. How are you? Gary Jones is there. Divine Cosmos Energy. There's this this thing that YouTube have is they want to discourage people expressing opinions that run contrary to the scientific consensus. And I know my channel's already been affected by this because I've had things. I've been algorithmed. I've had my channel's getting less visibility, and that's as a result of the subject matter that I talk about. Owen says, what are we going to do when they start imposing the solution part of this fiasco? Well, I think they already are, Owen. I mean, this is the if you look at what's going on, it's the perfect new world order situation, isn't it? We all are, everything's restricted, the economy's been controlled, different businesses have been ordered to shut down, your access to the free streets, what you're allowed to do on the public highways has been restricted. Now, I know people say, well, that's necessary to stop people catching it. Maybe that's true, but it doesn't, whether that's true or not, whether it's even justified, it's still something that's happening, and it's still something, the government are taking advantage of it. Steve Martin says, where are the bodies being kept? I can't believe there's so many. Well, hospitals have a specific place where it's called the post-mortem suite, where people who've died are kept. And one of my duties was to actually take patients and put them into storage there when they die. Some hospitals are setting up extra mortuaries in various places, and makeshift ones for extra people. And indeed, this happens a couple of times during major incidents and things like that. But there's talk about people commandeering huge areas, is that they're expecting a vast number of corpses. Owen says, Bojo can't save us from that. I think he can, Owen. I think he can, and the people around him can. The thing is, without Boris, it doesn't mean the people behind him are gone. They're still there. But Boris is a person who has put himself out on the front. He's put himself out as on the front line as a symbol for this, and it'd be very sad to lose him. He's someone I respect and I admire, and I'd be very, very sad to lose him. I think I think a lot of people would be. Donna says, has anyone seen proof at all that all these so-called people have COVID, etc.? No, Donna. In fact, of all the people who given a diagnosis of COVID-19, only a small fraction of those have actually been diagnosed with a viral screening. I am one of the people who's diagnosed over the phone. If you just phone up and you say you have certain symptoms, they'll say you probably have COVID-19, self-isolate. Whether you do or not, you might not. You might have something else, because other conditions, other illnesses produce these symptoms. This, I think, explains some of these situations where people catch it twice. Because on one or both of those occasions, it could be that they are misdiagnosed. Lisa says, if underground facilities are really being taken back, then they would want to keep us away from the crowds fearing retaliation. I mean, what underground facilities are being taken back? I've not seen any sign of that. I mean, every so often there's some kind of a news story comes out that's happening. I mean, if that is happening, Lisa, that's great, but I'm not sure. But Lisa says, hence keeping us inside. Yeah, it could be they want to keep us inside for another reason. Now, this is something we talked about when I did an interview with Lisa. It was the Hapanwo show on Hapanwo Radio a couple of weeks ago. I did an interview with Lisa. We talked about that. Whether this was some kind of situation where they are whether this is an ulterior motive. Gary says here, YouTube constantly removes a lot of videos relating to anti-vaccine, 5G, chemtrails, alternative COVID-19. I'm going to say 5G, 5G, 5G. I don't care. I'm not going to do their work for them. Chemtrails and alternative COVID-19 info. Yeah, they have. The anti-vaccine stuff. So in other words, you can't, even if you have evidence to support the anti-vaccination position, you can't say it on their platform. All because it's to do with your health and the solutions they wish to put into place to combat the problems they cause. Yeah. And soon mandatory vaccines, cashless societies, chips and arrest, all kinds of monitoring surveillance to watch us 24/7. Orwell's nightmares and alive and well. Unfortunately, Gary, that's it. They just want to censor certain points of view of people who object to this happening. John Watson. Hi, John. How are you? Nice to hear from you again. Hi, Benjamin Jones. Peace and health. Thanks. Same to you. Lisa says, well, I am one of the few erring on the positive side and believing something good is going on in the background. I do too, Lisa. And there must be. The fact that Boris is still alive. I mean, that's... Yeah, I agree. And there are a number of reports coming back from America about massive take-backs and rescuing children from the underground. Well, Lisa, I mean, if that's true, and I've seen this mentioned a few times, then that's wonderful. If that's true, then it's wonderful. And something at some point has to give. And as we were saying on the show, there are positives. There are positive outcomes to this. There are the people who are dealing with this with a lot of courage and stoicism, and their sense have found a new lease of life through this. Lisa says, I genuinely believe Trump is a good man and affecting change. Yes, I agree, he is. But only time can tell. We will know soon enough, methinks. I think, there's no doubt in my view that Trump is a good guy. Trump is a white hat, just like Boris. He's working for the forces of freedom. He's a light worker, just like Boris. Whether they can succeed or not, and whether they can bring down the Illuminati, I don't know. But, I mean, we will know soon enough. And what's more, I'll do everything I can to help. I will. Hello, Tony. How are you? I hope you're well, Tony. Apparently, there's going to be a press conference. Is there a press conference coming up soon? I hear. Let's have a look. Let's see what's happening in the news. Theresa May wishes Boris Johnson a speedy recovery. Who was she? The UK picture. Oh dear. We should be hearing from the UK government in the next 30 minutes, but let's take a look. The number of people in the UK hospitals who've died has now reached 6,159. Boris Johnson is in intensive care, but his condition is described as stable. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab is deputising for the PM. Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove has become the latest member of the government to go into isolation after a family member showed symptoms. A volunteer army of 750,000 people signed up to support the NHS. Experts have warned against over-interpreting daily figures of people dying. Right. Oh, there's going to be an Easter concert, even though it's close to the public, but it's going to be on YouTube. All right. There's stuff about the election in the States. Raab to hold a briefing, 1700. Right, that's just 13 minutes away, so I don't know if it's worth watching that. I probably will watch it. Maybe I'll just finish the live stream and watch it. So, if there's nothing else anyone wants to talk about, I think I'll check. Lisa says, I think Trump is doing incredible stuff in the US. Press conference every night with an epic. Oh, yes, I believe many undercover message. Yeah, it's true. He's given us a lot of information secretly, I think. He's saying what he can say. And I mean, this came up in the latest Apollo Detectives video, which is on Neil Geddes Ward's channel, where we talked about this things Trump has said to NASA and stuff like that. Okay, guys, I don't know how many people are watching right now, but I'm going to, if there's nothing else anyone wants to say, I'm going to call this a day. And I wonder, actually, I wonder if I've got a strike on my channel, because I did mention the 5G thing. I wonder if anyone's taken my videos down. No, I hope not. Oh, no. A new and improved YouTube. Why are they keep bloody changing everything? Ooh. Okay, guys. I think that covers everything. Oh, Richard Boot, hello. Oh, hang on. There's some. John Walson says you could have the BBC briefing in the background and debate it on your live show. I could do, John, or I could just simply, I could stop the stream, watch it, and then do another live stream if I feel it's necessary. Although, possibly it won't be anything much to say. Richard Boot, hello, Richard. Hi, Ben. I met you in person a few years ago at a Richard D. Hall lecture in Birmingham, Hotshot Snooker Club. Greetings, buddy. Stay safe. Hello, Richard. I do remember that. Yes, I went there with Mark Devlin. Yes, that was good. Simon Blackwell says, moon tonight. All right, is that full moon? Hey, Owen. John says, John Watson, you could have, all right. John, I will, what I'll do with the briefing is I'll watch it and then do another live stream if I think it's worth talking about. Lisa says, if the internet goes down for 3 days, it will be Thursday, I reckon. Yeah, well, of course. That's when the Panro show goes live. Gary Jones says, what do you make of the QAnon movement, Ben? A very, very interesting thing, Gary. I think there's some truth behind it. I think there is a real Q. I don't believe it's all fake. I mean, I know not everyone agrees. I know there's a lot of people who say it's all a hoax. I know Kev Baker, who's a good friend of mine. I like him a lot. He says it's all a big hoax. Thing is, there's been about 5 different people so far who've confessed to hoaxing QAnon. There's also 3 people who claim to be QAnon. In fact, there's a guy Marcus was talking about on Apollo Detectives. This guy's just set up a YouTube channel. He claims to be the real Q. Either way, there is a real Q, definitely. There are fake Q accounts. There are fake Q posts. Of course, there's loads of fake stuff everywhere. But there's a real Q at the heart of it. Lisa says, back up Easter Sunday. Well, I hope so, Lisa. But you know what? They may not actually do away. They may not actually take the internet down. What they'll do is they'll engineer some kind of power cut, these power cuts they're warning us about, which are which is said to happen because all the people at the power stations are self-isolating, so they're short-staffed. That could be the excuse they use for that, simply because if there's no electricity, there's nothing to run the internet. Tony Wallace says, a pink supermoon. Oh, right. That sounds like a cocktail. But that's great, Tony. I mean, I'm sure that means something astrologically. I'm not sure what it is, but it probably has some kind of meaning that we can, well, hopefully be good. Will be good news for people. Okay, Lisa says, I just listen to Trump and I like him and what he says and how he controls the fake news. Just class. You know, Lisa, did you see my video, why 2016 matters? It goes into all this. There is absolutely no way that Trump and Boris could possibly be where they are today unless something really badly had gone wrong with the New World Order agenda. Seriously, something has totally gone wrong with it. Totally. And I know not everyone agrees. People say, no, it's just all part of it's just a deeper part of the New World Order, Ben. You know, I get that all the time. But I don't think it is. And I explain very clearly and rationally why I believe that. So I think this is a very good sign. The fact that whatever happens to Boris, and I mean, obviously, I'm praying for him really, really hard. I want nothing more than for him to be safe and well. But it's what's happening now can't be stopped. This is the moment. This is the moment, I think, where we hit that 100th monkey point, where the 2012 Mayan calendar changeover starts to manifest as a physical reality. Owen Marshall says, lots more empty hospital vids being shared. Yeah, well, you know, Owen, the empty hospitals, right? There are bound to be lots of emptiness at hospitals because basically a lot of the usual patients have been kept away. So a lot of my brother and sister porters at the hospital have reported this, that John Radcliffe is very quiet. And this is because, in many cases, because like GP referrals and the NHS Direct are not sending people to be admitted anymore. They're being told to go home when they would otherwise be admitted, because of the coronavirus measures. Same with like A&E. A&E are not, fewer people are going to A&E. So that does explain some of the emptiness. What doesn't explain is when news stories come out saying, oh, look, this hospital is having trouble coping. And then someone goes around to the hospital with a camera and finds there's no one there. Lisa says, I'm fed up with being negative, full on positive. Well, exactly, Lisa. There's a lot to be positive about. there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of black pillars in the world. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, we're all doomed," but we're not. We're not by far. Gary says Venus passed through the Pleiades just recently. That's supposed to signal new beginnings. Oh, well, that's very interesting considering Carol Noonan, who's going to be on my show this Thursday. So check that out because she talks about the Pleiades. Tommy Boyce, hello, Tommy. Bush said that you let the idiot nowhere near the family business, you get them a job in government. That's certainly the case with him, isn't it? Now, William says, I read the Q posts from the beginning. I'm the same way. Something is going on and has been going on, and we will know for soon. And it's not just President Trump, the US military are involved. They took the oath to defend the Constitution, defend enemies, foreign and domestic. It's about time they honoured it. I think they must be, William. Indeed, the same goes for various elements within the military intelligence services and government and civil service in Britain. Otherwise, let's face it, Boris wouldn't have lived as long as he has lived. Oh, Lisa and William have posted the plan to save the world, which is just amazing. If you watch that, it's just amazing. Yeah. And this talk about Easter. Is there going to be something happening at Easter? Because Easter's not long now, is it? Is it next Sunday? It's Sunday week, isn't it? When is Easter? Yeah, it's next Sunday. This is the 12th this year. Second Sunday, yeah. It's the 12th for you. A bit of this. Well, that's really good. That's brilliant. It's something with Easter. That's great. Anyway, I've decided not to edit out. I've decided I'm not going to edit out where I mentioned 5G. I don't see why I should do YouTube censorship job for them. If for any reason, I mean, what I'll do is I'm going to take both these live streams and any others I do today. I'm going to edit them together. I'm going to put them on YouTube. If they're removed from YouTube, they will be on BitChute. Okay, so anything that's deleted from YouTube, you will find on BitChute. Oh, this is really good. Anyway, guys, that's it. I think for now. I'll just go and watch the press conference, and then maybe we'll do another live stream after that. But thanks very much, everyone, for watching. It's much appreciated. You take care. Right, hopefully I'll be live soon. Right, oh, I'm live. Good. Right, just get my notes up. Let's watch that press conference and okay. So I should wait for a few people to join us. Shouldn't take long. Cheers, guys. Massier's Pride and Dignity, Brother Porter. Well, I've just watched a press conference which had Dominic Raab and a couple of other people with suits who I didn't recognise. There was the Chief Medical Officer and various other people like that. They were talking and they gave press conference to various people. All right, just 1 second. I'm going to go up there in a minute. And they said that, they basically, the first question was, what's Boris's condition? What state is he in? And they basically said the same thing. He's in ITU still. He is not on a ventilator or having any assisted breathing. He's just been given oxygen through an enrichment mask, and that's it. So that's a good sign. It's now 5 p.m. It's gone 5 p.m. It's almost 24 hours since he was taken into intensive care, and he's not needed a ventilator. Well, that's a good sign. And that's a sign that the disease is not progressing. In other words, if the disease was really going to progress a long way to the point where he was going to have real trouble breathing, it would probably have done so by now. So that's good. They also said there's been some development in terms of the statistics. Now, again, as we were saying earlier, these statistics are a little bit hard to judge because how many people, I talked about this before, of all the people who've been put down on the statistics as having coronavirus, including myself, how many of them have actually had viral screenings? In other words, it's been proven they've got COVID-19. It's all been done over the phone. I personally think I have had COVID-19, but that's only because of the symptoms I had and the severity of how bad they, and that is, in other words, how bad they were. That's how I believe I have COVID-19. I've had COVID-19. Can't prove it. Can't prove it. A lot of people have had milder symptoms. They'll think they've had it, and they haven't. Now, they showed graphs of the new infections that have been emerging, and it turns out that they seem to be going up in a kind of parabolic line, which is slowly curving over. Now, this looks as if we're getting close to the peak. Now, the peak is the peak infection. Now, I know a lot of you will say you can't believe the BBC. Again, this is based on statistics, which are not complete and have never been proven, I know. But this is just what they happen to say at this press conference. They say we'll know in a week or two whether the UK has peaked or not. Some countries, they say, have peaked. China, I think, has peaked now. A couple of others, South Korea's peaked. Now, when the questions and answers began from the floor, people said, well, what's the political structure at the moment we have at the moment? Who's basically running the country? Where does this chain of command go? Which is complicated because, as I said earlier, Boris has never appointed a deputy prime minister. Dominic Raab is acting up as prime minister, essentially as deputising. He's not an official deputy prime minister. He's chairman of the cabinet, foreign secretary, and he's basically doing what the prime minister normally does. But what if there's like a great emergency? Supposing missiles are flying in from Russia or China or somewhere, what do? Do you pop in the hospital and say, Boris, take your oxygen mask off, we need your help with this? I mean, it's a good question, so no one is exactly sure. And as you can see, you may have seen Keir Starmer the other day, the new blue-eyed boy in the Labour Party, that left-wing Tony Blair, champagne socialist type person who's just now running the Labour Party. He's trying to sneak in the back door. Did you see that? Offering his help wherever it's needed. Oh, yeah. Can't wait to take advantage of Boris's absence. While the cat's away, the mice come out and play. And I'll tell you what, there's some real little mice in the Labour Party these days, aren't they? Did you see that old cow? What's it? The mayor of Henna, which is in Nottinghamshire, it's a town in Nottinghamshire, saying that Boris deserved it. Ugh, disgusting. Disgusting. She's been booted out of the Labour Party for that, which is quite remarkable. I assume they give her a cabinet job. You have to do something quite extreme to be kicked out of the Labour Party these days. I think they should have kept her in. They deserve her. Someone asked, well, if these social distancing measures are so good, how come so many people in government have got it? Nadine Dorries, Prime Minister, Michael Gove now looks like he might have it, and that's probably because they weren't aware of it when they did, like the rest of us, sort of caught unawares. Why that happened? Well, again, you've got to blame China for that. Someone else said, how long will the lockdown last? Well, there was going to be a 3-week review, didn't there? In fact, the 3 weeks, I think, begins on this Monday coming. Was it today? It was yesterday. How long has the lockdown been going? I think it's been 2 weeks, so it's next week. Next Monday, I think, is the 3-week review. But they're saying they're not sure. They just don't know. They were saying worrying about old people's homes and things like that. And there's several other things they said in this press conference. So, hello, John McNulty. Hello, Evelyn. How are you? And thanks for joining me on this live stream today. This is a short live stream now. It's part 3 of this little 3-part live stream. So I think really things are looking up. Boris looks like he's going to be okay. That's my main concern right now, is that Boris is okay, because I really am a big Boris fan, and to lose him would be devastating. It really would. I know that some of you won't agree. I know that some of you will not. Well, what? No, stay on the page. What's happened? Has it gone again? Am I still? Can someone tell me if I'm still going? I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I know, Joanne, I know it's a virus. I know COVID disease is a virus, but it's still What's happening? Oh, I'm live. COVID disease is a virus, but it's called COVID disease. Now I know not. I assume I'm still. Am I still live? Am I still live? I am. Oh, God, damn thing. Oh, Neil Haig, Armin Adams, welcome all of you. Obviously, it's still running. I think it's still running. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I can just see my own picture now. It's like really weird. The screen I was using before is just sort of gone. Damn Facebook. It says it's live. Okay. I'm going to carry on as if I'm live. Rob, hello, Rob. Hello, Gary. Hello, Neil. As I said, I'm a big Boris fan. I know not all of you are going to see it that way. I know how many of you... Oh, thanks, Evelyn. You can still hear me. I know how many people say things like, but Ben, he's just another insider. It's all part of the trick. It's all part of the Illuminati. He's in the Illuminati too. He's the same as all the rest of them. He's just got you fooled and he hasn't got me fooled. I know. And I know not a lot of people take that position. Caroline Stevens, of course, who I'm a good friend and comrade. She takes that position. And I've looked at that side of the story. I've examined both sides of this. I've listened to what these people have to say, and I don't agree. I think Boris is Britain's Trump. Boris is a person who has been Boris has taken on the job of trying to dismantle Illuminati rule of Britain. And hopefully there'll be lots of other people in all parts of the world who will do that, until there is no Illuminati rule anywhere. Therefore, he means a lot to me. He's a brave man. He's a strong man. He's a decent man. And I want him to be okay. And things are looking up for him. If he's not on a ventilator, that's after 24 hours in ITU, that's a good sign. So be hopeful, ladies and gents. Be hopeful. Anyway, I think that's all. I think that's everything. If there's anyone, I don't know. Now I'm off the producer screen. I don't know how to stop the bloody live stream. I don't know how to stop it. Oh. Anyway, guys, thank you all of you for watching. It's much appreciated. I'm going to see what I can do to stop this live stream now, and